Guys, good morning. It's Becky Bamboo. Today's Thursday, March 17th, 2011. And I'm sorry if I kind of am doing that. I'm having breakfast. Some strawberries and blackberries, and I just had a little of those little Baby Bell cheeses, the light ones. Have you ever had those? If you aren't eating the little Baby Bells, you should. They're really, really good. The light is like 50 calories for one little wheel of cheese. And I think it's got something like 6 or 7 protein in it or something. So they're delicious. They're just a nice little snack. Very, very tasty. I had not tried them until recently. So get after the Baby Bells. But I'm not in much of a breakfast mood today. Kind of all week I've been having eggs, and I like to have eggs for breakfast quite a bit, but I'm kind of burned out on it today, so I'm doing fruit instead. And I know a while back I asked a question about fruit, and I wanted to kind of revisit it now that I'm thinking about it. And that was, I had asked if anybody knew if post-gastric bypass you could eat fruit without dumping. And nobody really gave me much of an answer, so I kind of went to the research. And what I found is they were saying that the sugars in fruit, like, are fructose, fruit sugars, and those are more slowly absorbed by the body. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to give it a whirl. And I've just kind of branched out over the last 3 months and tried more fruit, started eating more fruit. And I've always been a fruit eater. I love fruit, and I was going to be very sad if fruit made me dump, because I would miss it, quite frankly. And I have had loads of fruit, and I have not dumped on it. So I think that as long as you're careful, obviously, like watermelon, some fruits are higher in sugars than others. As long as you start off slow and just kind of feel your way around, I think that everybody would be fine post-gastric bypass on fruit. I happen to just love it. Blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, I have no problems with any of those. I can eat watermelon, honeydew melon. I'm really careful on watermelon, though, because watermelon's one of my favorite fruits, and it's so sweet. And I actually can tell when I eat it how sweet it is. That's the funny thing is, before I went on my Clear Liquid diet, I had no concept of sweet, really. And after all of that kind of cleared out of my system with the 10 days of Clear Liquids, post-op, I'm so much more aware of things that are sweet, and things that are maybe not sweet to some people seem just crazy sweet to me. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and eat my fruit while I talk to you guys because, well, I just am. Okay, so I wanted to say thank you to everybody who supported me in this Couch to 5K process. You guys have encouraged me so much, which I appreciate. I do think you guys are the reason I got done through it. Technically, I'm still in week 8 of Couch to 5K. I did week 8, day 1 yesterday. But I think there comes a point where you just realize you can do it, and you don't really need the Couch to 5K program anymore. So I'm contemplating just kind of doing away with using my C2 5K app, because well, I can run a 5K now. So do I really need to continue with like week 8, day 2, day 3, week 9? Essentially week 8, all of week 8 is 28-minute runs, and all of week 9 is 30-minute runs. I can do a 28 and a 30-minute run. I ran for 49 minutes yesterday. The run before that, I ran for 46 minutes. I know I can run for a half an hour. So I kind of think, I don't know. I'm torn, because I know, like, there's like this whole, like, you graduated the program thing when you finish it. But my opinion is when you run your 5K is when you graduated the program. So I kind of feel like yesterday was graduation day of that. If anybody thinks that's weird or wrong or whatever, I'd love to know, just because, I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm going to keep running anyway, so I can always just, say I've completed them in another couple weeks anyway, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, so thank you for your support with the running. I definitely have found that it's something that I enjoy very much. Very, 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 very much. I think that it's something that I will continue to do as long as my body allows me to. Meaning as long as I don't injure a knee or a hip or an ankle or something like that. And even then, I imagine once I heal from whatever, I would continue. Something just very, very rewarding about running. I don't know how to exactly explain it. I just think it's one of those things you go from thinking that that's just so out of reach. Like, 3 miles? Are you kidding? I can't run 3 miles. To all of a sudden realizing I can do that. It's possible to, it's a progression thing. I talked about how, starting Couch to 5K, and I was doing the intervals, and I was so proud of myself for being able to do the intervals and this and that. And I really think fitness-wise, I was further along than I thought I was at that time. Because to be perfectly honest, I had very, very, very few runs throughout this whole up to now 8-week process where I just really had trouble. I had one that I had to repeat, and that was the week that I was sick. I had to repeat week 7, day 1, I believe it was. It was either week 7, day 1, or week 6, day 3. I don't remember. But anyway, that's the only one I repeated the whole time, and that was far and above what I expected. I expected to have to repeat several of them. And so it was kind of... it's kind of an interesting journey, and you kind of go from thinking like, day 1, week 1 is like a 30-second run, I think, followed by a 2-minute walk or something along those lines. And I kind of can remember that first night thinking like 30 seconds, like I would be at the end of that 30 seconds so ready to stop running. And now I can run for nearly an hour. And it's crazy, but all the way along, like as you start to build and you build, each week when it brings something new for you to try and you successfully complete that, you build more confidence in the fact that you can do more than you thought you could. And it's just an amazing process, and you kind of got to do it to understand exactly how it feels. And I don't think running is for everybody, and I don't expect for all of my viewers to all of a sudden decide to be runners, because that's not realistic. And quite frankly, there's just going to be people who don't have an interest in running, and even if they could do it, would not enjoy doing it. And I think that's the thing about running. You either like it or you don't. And if you don't, you don't. Find something different to do. Cycle or swim or walk or whatever it is that you like to do it. But I definitely have found that there's a calm about me when I run, and I have a clear head, and I can, I think about everything and anything, and I seem to like just be at peace. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's the only way I can describe it. And very few runs do I even focus on what I'm doing. I mean, there's occasionally those runs that are really hard to get through, and you like the whole time you're just feeling like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. You kind of get that feeling like you're just so tired and it's really hard, and then you get overwhelming like thoughts of this is so hard, I just want to quit, I want to stop, and you have to really fight against those. But most of the time when I run, it's just I'm doing it, and I'm not even focused on that. I'm focused on just, I'm thinking about my music, or I'm thinking about whatever else is going on in my life, or whatever I have coming up. And I'm not, that was my run yesterday. I was not really focused on what I was doing very much at all. Until the last probably half of a mile, I really wasn't thinking about my running at all. And then all of a sudden I was like, realizing how close I was getting, and I really was trying to pick up the pace. And towards the end, my legs feel so heavy. After I get past like a 2-mile point, my legs just feel like they weigh 9,000 pounds apiece, and it takes every ounce of energy I have to get them to pick up and go in front of the next one and the next one. And I have to really like focus on what I'm doing in order to get them to move. And there's times I have to really like push myself to pick up the pace. And because I can, you know, the nice thing about my Nike app that I use is that it tells you every quarter of a mile that you've gone a quarter of a mile, but then it also tells you what your pace is for, you know, 15 whatever per mile or 14 whatever per mile. And that really helps me keep track of where I'm at. It really, because I know like this whole time as I've started to run longer distances, I've been running in the 15-minute range, 15 whatever. And so there are times when I'm running and I hear it say you're at 14:30 whatever per mile, and I think, okay, so I'm ahead of myself here. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then I may realize I'm on a downhill run or something. Then there's other times, like towards the end of the run, there was a point yesterday where it told me I was at like 17 something a mile. When I heard that, I'm like, no way, this is too slow, must go faster. So I make myself pick it up, which is nice. So those of you who have iPhones, I highly, highly recommend trying out some of these apps. First of all, I like that it tracks my mileage and I don't have to worry about that. And it's right on the money from looking at the map of the trail that I run, which is nice to know. I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it. So with that said, talking about the app thing, I actually I'm getting texted right now. It's distracting. So anyway, I wanted to bike today, and so I got to thinking last night. I had this thing. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I used to bike about, I don't know, 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, and I would bike quite a bit actually. And I really enjoyed it. So I got this thing because I was always curious how far I was going. So I got this little thing. It's made by Schwinn, and it clips onto a little holder on the bike. And the battery's dead on it, so I can't show you what it does. But there's a little sensor that you hook to like your wheel spoke. And then there's another sensor that you hook to what do you call it? I don't know what it's called. Basically a stationary part of the frame. So every time the wheel spoke goes by the stationary part of the frame, it tracks it. So it's like basically works like an odometer essentially. So I used to use this a lot. So I got to thinking last night, I knew the battery was dead on it, and I was kind of thinking, well, what am I going to do? Maybe I could try using my Nike app to track my distance. Well, so I kind of did some research online about that and realized that they said it will work to track your distance, but it's not going to do your calories because it's set up to be a running app specific for running. So if you cycle, then obviously your speed is going to be a lot faster, and it's going to think you're burning more calories than you are. So, and then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, I really would rather like have something where I knew how many calories I'm burning, and have some idea of how far I'm going and things like that. Biking is something that is going to take me a while to kind of get back into, because it's you have to kind of get your butt used to sitting on the seat again. I did buy a big wide seat last fall. If you guys remember, I did a whole video about biking and how my husband and I were, working on our bikes that hadn't been touched in 5 years or whatever, and we got them all back in good working order. And I bought a nice wide seat for my big butt, and my butt is much smaller now than it was at that point. So I'm kind of excited to see how riding is today, if it's more comfortable, if I can go farther, if I can go longer. So anyway, I got a new app for cycling, and I'm really excited to try it out today. So I just wanted to share that is on my agenda today. I'm going to go cycling. Not too much longer here. I'm going to get ready and go. Let's see. Beyond that, what else? Oh, I guess I'm going out today to see my husband's cousin, who just had a baby, I don't know how long ago. I went to her baby shower a while back. I remember talking about it on video. She had a baby maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. And she's in town visiting her mom and dad, and we got invited to go out and see her and the baby, and I'm really excited to go see them. It's just going to make me want to have a baby that much more than I already do. I know this in advance, but you know, it's hard. It's hard. I'm 31. I'm married. I so want to have a family. And I know that's something I've talked about from day one on my videos, is a main big reason why I wanted to have gastric bypass surgery is so that I could have a child, because at 400 plus pounds, it was not possible for me to have a baby. So I know now it's kind of, I'm getting healthier and it's getting more like I could do it, but I'm following the doctor's orders, and he said 18 months to 2 years, 18 to 24 months after surgery before you even start thinking about it. So I'm trying to follow the rules, but it gets harder and harder and harder the better I feel and the healthier I get and things like that. But I don't think that my husband and I are either both really very set on necessarily having a family, just because of the financial burden, and you know, I don't have a job right now, and there's so many like what ifs. But anyway, I know it's gonna make me want to have that like I want a baby thing. But anyway, we'll see. So it should be fun to go out and see them today. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I haven't seen them in, oh my gosh, quite a while. Well, I guess probably the baby shower, which was in, I don't even remember when it was. Isn't that terrible? So anyway, that's what's going on with me today. I will check back in and let you guys know. Hopefully I'm going to be able to just do a little video while I'm cycling. I think that would be kind of fun. I've never tried that. I don't know how coordinated I am to do. I can run in video, but can I cycle in video? That's a whole nother thing. So anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys are doing great. I'll check in later today. See ya. Bye.